Hey everyone, this is Athletes and Antiquities, and today I wanted to talk about this new craze of people buying and selling graded WOTC commons and uncommons. There's been a huge surge in grading them, and the prices have shot up, and I think a lot of that is very premature, and I think there's a lot of market corrections that will happen soon. So for example, like unlimited Charmanders, they used to sell for about $15 in PSA 9, and now they're going for $150, $200, and I think that's really not sustainable. So I'm going to talk about all the different types of WOTC bulk here. By bulk, whenever I refer to bulk, I just mean commons and uncommons. I'm going to talk about the value projections of them going forward, and if I think they're worth grading, if I think they're worth selling, because there is a difference between those two. So starting off with first edition base, no brainer, grade it, buy it, don't sell it. So if you have first edition base in PSA 8, PSA 9, PSA 10 quality, 100% send them off. First edition base is becoming extremely scarce as everyone's buying it up because it is the rookie card of the hobby. Everyone wants first edition base. So if you have good condition commons and uncommons, even the less desirable ones, such as these three, and even trainers, grade them and don't sell them because these cards will continue to go up. It's a very safe thing to hold on to. It will continue to outpace many other things in the hobby, continue to outpace the stock market. If you're thinking about investing, definitely hold on to these, grade them if you have them. So that's an easy yes. And then moving on is base set Shadowless. I'll just take a little bit of the pile here. So base set Shadowless is not as historic as first edition, but it has the same nostalgia factor. It's the same, it's not quite the rookie card, but it has similar rarity. So it's estimated that first edition base, what we know, obviously has one print run. That's the whole point of first edition, one print run. Shadowless also had one print run. So there's about as many Shadowless as there are first edition. It's about as rare. Even though it's not as desirable, it's about as rare. So Shadowless, I definitely recommend picking up if you can. I really wouldn't sell that either, so this is more of an investment type of thing. I think this will continue to climb. It won't be nearly as fast as first edition, but it has, as more people find out about Shadowless, because I mean, obviously all the people that have been in the hobby know about Shadowless, they've known about it for years, but people that are just entering the hobby, which is a huge market, people that are just getting into old WOTC, they know first edition, they might not know Shadowless. So as they become more knowledgeable about it, they'll start to buy this stuff up, and the prices will definitely reflect that. So especially the starters, the Pikachu, the Charmeleon, Ivysaur, like Squirtle, Wartortle, all these ones, definitely these ones are going to be big, and even the non-desirable or less desirable commons and uncommons will also hold their value. So 100% hang on to these ones. So I would say buy, grade, don't sell. And now we get to base set unlimited. Base set unlimited is the biggest culprit of this, I think, false market projection, and this is pretty much why I made this video, because unlimited base has been shooting up in PSA, and I think it is a very risky purchase if you're buying it to hold on to, because unlimited is unlimited for a reason. There's an unlimited supply. It's estimated, I told you, there was one print run of first edition, one print run of Shadowless. There's estimated to be about 10 or 11 or so print runs of unlimited. So for every one first edition Onyx, there's about 11 unlimited Onyxes. There's always going to be another near mint copy. There's always going to be another mint copy. And as more people start to grade, the market will definitely correct to this. There's already been a huge uptick in, a huge influx through PSA of unlimited. So I would, if you have them in PSA 9, even PSA 10 condition, if you have them graded as PSA 9 or PSA 10, I would say sell them now while you can sell your commons for $150. But I would not recommend, if you're on the buying end, I would say it's a very risky endeavor. I think that will go down very soon. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I just think that it's way too unsustainable. They're way too common for that kind of price. But there are other types of WOTC that I do think there's value in. And the main thing is first edition commons and uncommons of non-base set. I think there is still a lot of potential here because people collect whole sets, and that includes the commons and uncommons. So normally people definitely slab up all the holos, all the rares, but they also slab up the commons and uncommons just so they can have that set together. So I think the first edition of these are smart things to grade if it's pretty much guaranteed 9 or 10, and smart things to buy, but understand that they're not going to shoot up in value. They're not going to follow a trend of first edition base. They're not going to follow a trend of shadowless. They're less desirable than those, but they are still going to maintain value because there will be demand for it, as opposed to unlimited jungle. There's not many people trying to complete an unlimited jungle common and uncommon set, but there is that desire in the first edition for these. And if there's certain, like, first examples of certain cards that I think are definitely safe buys are the first edition cards with very desirable art and very desirable like Pokemon. So like Dark Flareon, for example, is an uncommon in Rocket. This could have very easily been a rare. I'm surprised it wasn't. It commands an uncommon price, but I think that's going to change very soon. Like, the art is phenomenal. It's one of the dark cards, which is desirable, first edition. It's got everything you want in a desirable WOTC card, just in an uncommon package. So cards like that, I would definitely grade, and if you can get them, hold on to them. I think those will be very sustainable. And there's other characters like Dratini and Charmander who are fan favorites. So having their, like even Rocket, which neither of these cards were rookie cards in Rocket, but these commons and uncommons in PSA 9 and 10, I think will sustain their value and would be a much smarter alternative than unlimited base. I think the whole point of this video is the price of unlimited base PSA is too high. So I'm just showing you guys alternatives. Cards like this, I think, will hold much more value and increase much faster than those unlimited bases. And I don't see these crashing like an unlimited base because they're much more scarce. And I wouldn't say much more desirable, but they are much less appreciated for what they are. So right here I have stacks of unlimited jungle, unlimited fossil, unlimited gyms. I would stay away from these ones. Don't grade these. And I have some examples of Japanese here. Japanese, even though this is Japanese base, there's less quantity of it than unlimited English, but I still would not really grade these. And there's a main reason why is because old Japanese and new Japanese, just Japanese in general, the cards are indestructible. So you're much more likely to find a near mint Japanese common than a near mint English common. So these ones, although there might be less of them out there, one, there's less demand because English is the most desired language. And so there's less demand, and there's also less difficulty grading. This is a bad example because I don't know if you can see it, but this card is bent like really hard on the left here. So I wouldn't grade this anyway, but this is just an example. I would stay away from these ones as well. I don't think these will carry much demand with them because there's no challenge to grade it. While there is a challenge with things like obviously first edition, obviously shadowless, and then the first edition non-base sets. So that was just a quick overview of all the different types of WOTC bulk and what I think about the new boom of grading. So just to recap, what I would invest in and what I wouldn't. So what I would invest in, just recapping, first edition base, yes, it's the most safe. Shadowless, still yes, but understand there'll be a lower ROI than first edition base, so lower cost to entry, but you still got the same artwork, but just lower returns, but I would say still safe. Other non-base set first editions of key characters, such as like Flareon, Dratini, Charmander, to name a few, these are also safe. I think purely for the artwork alone, like look at that Dratini. The artwork is phenomenal. People will buy these in first edition at PSA 9, PSA 10 in the future. So these I would say yes, but still same thing. You won't expect as large dividends as you would shadowless base first edition. And then on to the ones I would not. Unlimited base, no, way too saturated. The history's there, but the demand, I think, does not meet the supply. Same thing for Japanese base. Same thing for all the like jungle, fossil, gym, any of the unlimited commons and uncommons. I think currently the market is way too saturated with them, and there will be a correction. So if you want to sell them now, go for it. But I do think those will go down in the future. So, and just one last thing, we're still talking about commons and uncommons here. Don't lose sight of that. So although I'm saying first edition base commons, shadowless commons, first edition rocket of like key characters is going to go up, just know that the rares and the hollows will always outpace them. No matter what character you have, what Pikachu, shadowless, WOTC, hollows in PSA 9, PSA 10 will always outpace those commons. So just bring you back down to earth here, even though I'm talking about, oh, this common is going to shoot up in value or whatever, when I'm talking about first edition base or shadowless, just know that there's still always better options out there, and don't rely purely on commons to retire on. So, yep, that's about it for today. Thanks.